Leo, I want to tell you about something that happened to me years ago, back when my English was still very new. And I think a lot of people listening are going to recognize it immediately.
Go on.
So I was at a market, and a woman turned to me and asked me something in English. And here's the thing. I understood every single word. Not most of it. Every word. Perfectly.
Okay, so that's a win.
You'd think so. And in my head, a beautiful answer appeared. Full sentence, correct grammar, genuinely a nice thing to say. And it just stayed there, in my head. And what came out of my mouth was, yes, good.
Yes, good.
Yes, good, like a robot with a two-word vocabulary. And she smiled politely and walked away. And I stood there, among the tomatoes, furious with myself.
Oh, I remember that feeling so well from my own learning years. It's like there's a door between your brain and your mouth and the door's locked, and you can hear the sentence knocking on the other side.
Knocking politely. Excuse me, I'm ready. Could someone let me out?
And your mouth says, sorry, we're closed. Try good instead. And this is the thing that confuses people the most, isn't it? Because you're not a bad learner. You can watch a whole film, you understand podcasts, you read articles, and then someone asks you a simple question, and you produce two words like a very tired robot.
Exactly, and that's what we're fixing today. Hi, everyone. I'm Mia.
And I'm Leo. Welcome to Perspective Peak. Today we're talking about the gap, that strange, frustrating space between understanding English and actually speaking it. Why it happens, why it's completely normal, and what actually closes it.
And this matters so much because this gap makes people feel like they're failing when they're really not. You've done the work. You've built something real. It's just sitting in a part of your brain that doesn't open easily yet. This is exactly what Perspective Peak is here for, growing your confidence and your English together.
And don't worry about the English today, friends. This is friendly B1 level. Clear sentences, simple words, spoken at a comfortable speed. Every time we use a stronger word, we'll stop and explain it right away. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be here. So let's start at the very beginning, Mia. Why does this happen at all? Because it feels like it shouldn't. If the words are in my head, they should come out of my mouth.
Right? It feels like a betrayal. But here's my favorite way to think about it. Imagine your English is a house, and inside that house are two rooms. The first room is enormous, shelves everywhere, thousands of words, all neatly stored. That's the room you use when you listen or read. Someone says a word, you walk in, find it on the shelf, and understand it instantly.
Okay, I like this house.
It's a nice house. Now, the second room is much smaller, and this is the room you use when you speak. It only contains the words you can grab instantly, without thinking, while someone is looking at you and waiting.
Oh, so the words exist, they're all there in the big room, but in a real conversation, a learner can only reach into the small room?
That's exactly it. And the cruel part is that the door between them is heavy. When you're reading, you have all the time in the world to wander into the big room. But in conversation, someone's waiting. There's no time to walk across the house. You grab whatever's within arm's reach in the small room, and that's why you end up saying good when you know 11 better words.
11 better words, all sitting comfortably in the big room doing nothing.
Completely unbothered. And researchers have a name for these two rooms. The big one is your passive vocabulary, words you recognize. The small one is your active vocabulary, words you can actually produce. And here's the number that shocked me. For most learners, the passive room is several times bigger than the active one. Some estimates say 2, 3, even more times bigger.
So I might know 3 times more English than I can currently use?
Almost certainly, yes. And I want that to land because it changes the whole story. You are not a beginner pretending to be intermediate. You're an intermediate learner with a locked door. And here's the key idea for today, and it's a genuinely hopeful one. You don't need to learn more English. You mostly need to move what you already have from the big room into the small one. That's a completely different job and a much easier one.
Beautiful. Okay, let me tell everyone the moment I understood this. My cinema problem.
The cinema problem?
So, back in my own learning years, there was a period where I felt genuinely great about my English. I was watching films with no subtitles, following podcasts at normal speed, and I thought, I've done it. I'm basically fluent.
Famous last words.
Famous last words. Because then, I went to an actual event where I had to talk to people, and I was reduced to a nodding, smiling, yeah, exactly machine. And I couldn't understand it. How could I follow a whole film but not survive a 5-minute conversation?
And what was the answer?
The answer is something researchers call recognition versus recall. And it's the difference between two completely different mental jobs. Let me explain it the way it finally made sense to me. Recognition is a multiple choice test. The answer is right there in front of you. You just have to say, yes, that one. Recall is a blank page. Nobody gives you anything. You have to produce the answer from nothing.
Oh, that's so clear. So watching a film is multiple choice. The words arrive, I just tick, yes, I know that one.
Exactly. The film hands you every word. All you do is confirm. But a conversation is a blank page with a person staring at you and a clock running. Completely different skill. And here's why this matters so much. You can get better and better at recognition and never improve at recall. They're separate muscles. I had spent 2 years doing multiple choice and 0 minutes on the blank page.
And then blamed yourself for failing at a thing you'd never actually practiced.
Which is so unfair, isn't it? Imagine training for 2 years by watching other people run and then being shocked that you're out of breath after 1 lap. You didn't do anything wrong, you just did a different sport.
You just did a different sport. That's such a kind way to see it.
And it is kinder, and it's also true. So the lesson is, understanding and speaking are 2 different skills, and getting better at one does not automatically improve the other. If you only ever listen and read, you're training recognition. Speaking needs its own separate practice. For learners, this is genuinely freeing. You're not failing. You've just been training one muscle and expecting the other one to grow.
So good. Okay, my turn. And my story is about the thing that was secretly slowing me down every single time I opened my mouth. The translator in my head.
Ooh, the translator.
So for years, this was my process. Someone asks me something, I think of my answer in my own language, then I translate it word for word into English, then I check my grammar, then I open my mouth.
How long does that take?
Approximately 1 full geological era. By the time I was ready, the conversation had moved on to a different topic and possibly a different room. And here's the science, and it explains everything. Your working memory, that's the small mental space where you hold things you're actively thinking about, can only handle a few pieces at once. It's like a tiny desk with room for maybe 3 or 4 papers.
And translating puts how many papers on the desk?
All of them. Think about what I was asking that poor little desk to do at the same time. Understand the question, form an idea, translate it, check the grammar, check the pronunciation, and manage the fact that a human being is looking at me. The desk is full. There's no space left to actually speak.
So the desk just quietly surrenders and hands you, yes, good.
Yes, good is what a completely full desk produces. And here's what changed it for me, and it felt wrong at first. I stopped trying to say the perfect sentence and started saying the simple one. Instead of translating, I was actually planning to visit my sister, but the weather changed my mind, I'd just say, I wanted to see my sister, but the weather was bad.
Oh, and that clears the desk completely.
Completely! 2 short sentences, no translation, no complicated grammar. And here's the surprise. Nobody thought it was simple or childish. They just understood me, and we kept talking. The lesson is, your brain can't translate and speak at the same time. The desk isn't big enough. So say the simple version instead of translating the perfect one. Simple English that arrives is infinitely better than perfect English that stays in your head. For learners, this is the single fastest change you can make. Shrink the sentence, and it comes out.
So good. And quick pause, because I want to tell everyone where we're going. Because so far, we've talked about what's happening inside your head, but in a few minutes, we're going to talk about the one thing that makes all of this dramatically worse in real conversations, and it isn't your English at all. It's something happening in your body. And once you know what it is, you can work with it instead of fighting it. So stay with us.
Ooh, the body one. That one surprised me when I learned it. But first, can we talk about the practice method that quietly wastes people's time?
Wastes their time. That's a strong claim. Go on.
Okay, so here's a scenario, and I'd guess almost everyone listening has done this. You decide you're going to seriously improve your speaking. So you sit down and watch more videos, listen to more podcasts, do more exercises where you choose the right answer. And you do this every day, faithfully, for months.
And your speaking doesn't move.
Doesn't move an inch. And you conclude that you're bad at languages. But look at what actually happened. You spent months in the big room and never once opened the small one. Not 1 minute of recall practice.
It's like practicing for a swimming competition by reading about swimming.
Reading about swimming very thoroughly with excellent notes. And here's the science, and it's one of the strongest findings in learning research. Actively producing something, pulling it out of your memory, builds much stronger, more available memories than reviewing it. Every time you force a word out of your mouth, you make it easier to reach next time. Every time you only recognize it, you mostly leave it where it is.
So speaking isn't just the result of learning, it's the thing that does the learning.
That's exactly it, and it took me years to understand. Speaking isn't the exam at the end. Speaking is the study method. So the lesson is, if you want to speak, you have to speak. There is genuinely no way around it. And it doesn't need a partner, a class, or money. Talk to yourself in the kitchen. Describe your day out loud in the shower. Answer your own questions while you walk. It feels ridiculous for about 4 minutes, and then it feels completely normal.
I do this constantly, and I have been caught by neighbors twice.
And what did you do?
I pretended I was on the phone, which, honestly, get a pair of headphones and you can talk to yourself in public for hours. Nobody questions it. It's the perfect crime. Okay, now the body thing I promised.
Yes, this one's important.
So here's the scenario. You're at home alone, and you say an English sentence out loud. It's perfect, beautiful. You sound like a natural speaker. Then you're in a real conversation with a real person, and the same sentence comes out as, I, yesterday, going, sorry.
I, yesterday, going, sorry. I have said almost exactly that sentence.
We all have. And here's the science, and it genuinely changed how I feel about my bad moments. When you feel nervous or under pressure, your body releases stress hormones. That's a survival system. It's designed to help you react fast to danger. Brilliant if there's a bear, less brilliant in a bakery.
Less brilliant in a bakery.
Because here's what that stress response does. It pulls resources away from the slow, careful thinking parts of your brain, including exactly the parts you need for finding words and building sentences. So the harder you feel the pressure, the less access you have to your own vocabulary.
So it's not that your English disappears, your access disappears.
Your access. The words are still there. The door just got harder to open for reasons that have nothing to do with your English level. Native speakers experience the same thing, by the way. That's why people forget their own words in a job interview or go blank giving a speech in their first language.
That's actually really comforting. It's a human thing, not a learner thing.
Completely human. And there's a small detail I love here because it explains something weird. Have you ever had the perfect sentence arrive in your head about 10 minutes after the conversation ended?
Constantly in the car, on the stairs, always too late.
Always the stairs. And that's exactly this. The pressure drops, your access comes back, and suddenly there's your beautiful sentence, arriving like a guest who missed the party. Your English was never gone, it was just temporarily behind a locked door.
Ah, that's such a relief to hear. The stairs sentence is proof the English is in there.
It's literally proof, and knowing this changes what you do about it. If the problem were your English, the answer would be study more. But if the problem is pressure, the answer is lower the pressure. Practice in easier situations first. Start with someone patient. Tell people I'm still learning at the start. It's amazing how much that one sentence relaxes you because now you're allowed to be imperfect. So the lesson is, your blank moments aren't proof of bad English. They're proof of a nervous system doing its job. Build your speaking in low-pressure places first and let your body learn that talking isn't dangerous.
So good, Leo. Okay, peak performers. Let's turn all of this into something you can actually use. Our step-by-step action plan. 4 steps to close the gap between understanding and speaking. Leo, step 1.
Step 1. Speak out loud every day, even with nobody there. Here's what to do. Pick a small daily moment and narrate it in English out loud. Making coffee, walking somewhere, tidying up. 2 or 3 minutes is plenty. Why does this work? Because as we learned, producing language is what moves words from the big room into the small one. Recognition doesn't do it. Only recall does. For example, okay, I'm making coffee. The water's hot. I need a cup. Simple and slightly silly is perfect. A common mistake is waiting until you have a real conversation partner to start. Don't wait. Your mouth doesn't know the difference, and it needs the practice now.
So practical. Step 2. Say the simple version, not the perfect one. Here's what to do. When you're speaking and you feel yourself reaching for a complicated sentence, deliberately shrink it. Cut it into 2 short sentences. Use the easy word. Why does this work? Because your working memory is a tiny desk, and translating a complex sentence fills it completely, leaving nothing for actually speaking. For example, instead of building, I would have gone, but unfortunately I was unable to, just say, I wanted to go, but I couldn't. A common mistake is thinking simple English sounds childish. It doesn't. It sounds clear. And clear English that leaves your mouth beats perfect English that stays in your head every single time.
Step 3. Build a small set of ready-made phrases. Here's what to do. Choose 5 or 6 sentences you'd use constantly and practice them until they come out with no thinking at all. Sorry, could you say that again? I'm still learning, so please be patient. Give me a second to think. How do you say in English? Why does this work? Because these phrases live permanently in your small room. When the pressure hits and your access narrows, you'll still have something ready, and using them buys you time to find the rest. For example, give me a second turns a panicked silence into a normal, confident pause. A common mistake is thinking you need to build every sentence fresh. You don't. Even native speakers reuse the same phrases all day long.
And step 4. Start where the pressure is low, then raise it slowly. Here's what to do. Don't make your first speaking practice the scariest possible situation. Build a ladder. Talk to yourself, then record a voice note, then message a patient friend, then a language partner, then real life. Why does this work? Because stress narrows your access to your own vocabulary, so practicing under maximum pressure teaches your body that speaking is dangerous. Low-pressure practice teaches it the opposite. For example, record a 60-second voice note describing your day and listen back once. Nobody has to hear it. A common mistake is jumping straight into the hardest conversation, having a bad experience, and then avoiding speaking for months. Climb the ladder instead, one small rung at a time.
4 steps. Speak out loud daily, shrink your sentences, keep ready-made phrases, and build up from low pressure. And notice not one of them asks you to learn new vocabulary.
Not one new word required, which is lucky because most people listening already know far more English than they can currently use. You're not filling the house. You're just opening a door between 2 rooms.
Beautifully put. Okay, peak performers, it's time for everyone's favorite part, the extended vocabulary corner. 5 powerful words and phrases from today with examples from both of us. Mia, word 1.
Word number 1, fluent. If you're fluent, you can speak a language easily and smoothly without stopping too much. Leo, give us an example.
Sure. She's completely fluent in 3 languages, which is very annoying of her.
And mine, you don't need to be fluent to have a good conversation.
Word number 2, a wonderful one. Tongue-tied. If you're tongue-tied, you can't speak because you're nervous or embarrassed. It's the perfect word for exactly what we talked about today.
My example? I got completely tongue-tied when she asked me a simple question.
In mine, everyone gets tongue-tied sometimes, even in their own language.
Word number 3, out loud. Out loud means using your voice so it can be heard, not silently in your head. Small phrase, and today it's the whole point.
My example, try reading this paragraph out loud instead of in your head.
And mine? I practice out loud every morning while I make breakfast.
Word number 4, confidence. Your confidence is the feeling that you can do something well. And notice it usually grows after you start, not before.
My example? My confidence grew every time I spoke, even badly.
And mine, confidence comes from practice, not from waiting until you feel ready.
And word number 5, a lovely B2 idiom, to get the hang of it. If you get the hang of something, you learn how to do it after some practice. It stops feeling difficult.
My example? The first week was hard, but now I'm getting the hang of it.
And mine? Give it time. You'll get the hang of speaking sooner than you think.
5 powerful words: fluent, tongue-tied, out loud, confidence, and get the hang of it. Use even one this week, and it's yours forever.
And here's a little challenge that's also practice, and it takes 60 seconds. Right now, or as soon as you can, describe your day out loud in English, just to yourself. 3 or 4 simple sentences. That's it. That's a real speaking practice session, and you just did it. That's the whole perspective peak magic. Grow the confidence and the English together.
So here's the big lesson of today, friends. Understanding English and speaking English are 2 different skills, and you've been training one of them. The words are already in your house. They're just in the big room, and speaking is how you carry them into the small one. Talk out loud, keep your sentences short, have a few phrases ready, and start where the pressure is gentle. The gap isn't proof that you failed. It's just a door, and doors open.
And please be patient and kind with yourself. If you've ever stood somewhere understanding everything and saying nothing, feeling stupid and small, please hear this. You weren't stupid. You were carrying a full desk and a nervous body and a locked door and doing your best anyway. That's not failure. That's courage. And I want you to know something because I think it matters. That woman at the market all those years ago got 2 words out of me. Yes. Good. That was genuinely all I had.
And now look at you.
And now I host an entire podcast in English, which is honestly still a bit funny to me. So if you are standing in your own market moment right now, please believe me, that door opens. It opened for both of us. It just needs you to keep knocking.
And tell us in the comments, have you ever understood everything but couldn't say anything? What did you want to say? Write it in English, mistakes and all. This is the perfect place to practice. We can't wait to read every single one and reply to you.
Subscribe, hit the bell, and start thinking deeper while you see higher. Keep learning, keep growing.
See you next week on Perspective Peak.
Perspective Peak, yeah, we set the pace. Moving to the top, we win the race. We win the race. Perspective Peak, start thinking deeper while you see higher.